All right, guys, welcome back to another double with me, your host, Nastic, and with me, my boy Ellis Johnson. Ellis, how you been, buddy?
It's been great, dude. Love talking some football. Glad that they had us back. Didn't think that was happening after the last one. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? They love this.
Oh man,
They
some
love
RP analysis. I like it, dude. We're always right. That's the best part between us.
it. You want to make a left, it's always right.
Oh yeah.
All right. I seem to be coming at people with running backs and wide receivers. Today's no different, man. One day I'll get a quarterback in here, but right now I got a pair of running backs and I got a pair of wide receivers, and I'm coming at you with the running backs first because I like them a little better.
All
right. From DLF ADP, we have the running back 28, the 91st player off the board, Kareem Hunt. Or running back 32, coming off the board at 110 in Dynasty Startup Drafts, Mark Ingram.
Ooh.
Who do you got?
Oh man, those are very different guys. The only thing they got similar is they're sharing a backfield. That's what all I can think of. All right, let's start with the easier one here. We got Kareem Hunt. Hype's been coming up big. Don't really know why all of a sudden, but it seems to be that everyone's kind of downplaying Chubb, upplaying Hunt. Love him in redraft, love him in Dynasty. We talked some Kansas running backs before. You know, he was Andy Reid's guy until we won't talk about what he did, but he is a good running back when it comes to football. Mark Ingram on the other side, man, he always outplays his ADP. He's always low because he's always in committees, and he's always a touchdown machine that just crushes it. I believe I did an article on RBBCs and snap percentage, and I think he was one of two backs in the top 12 with less than 60% snap share. Austin Ekeler being the next, and I think Austin Ekeler had 57%. Mark Ingram only had 48% of snaps last year, and he finishes the RB8.
So yeah, he's a beast.
Exactly, man. I know that offense was nuts, and he did have like 15 touchdowns, but that's pretty impressive. Now, the easy answer here for Dynasty, take the young guy, take Kareem Hunt. He's a free agent next year. He might go somewhere else. If he stays, he's still a valuable asset. Locked and loaded, Kareem Hunt for Dynasty. Redraft was to get where it gets a bit harder. We got Kareem Hunt that most people I think would take, but man, I think Ingram on a better offense. I think Dobbins might get eased in. I get Dobbins great, but Ingram's always been in a committee. It's going to be no different. That offense is great. Man, if you're in a full PPR, give me Kareem Hunt. If we're talking standard, I'm just going to stick with Mark Ingram until he proves me wrong. So,
love it.
Yeah, give me Mark Ingram on that one, man, for redraft. I mean, Dynasty, go young guy. But redraft,
all right.
Mark Ingram's the guy.
So you got Dynasty, you're going Kareem Hunt. Redraft, you're going Mark Ingram. I love it. One second. Before I hit you with the running back or with the wide receivers, hold on.
I'm a little bit worried here, man.
Still in the wrapper for my boys at Clock Management. My boys at Clock Management sent it to me. Still in the wrapper. Big Trust. What's up?
Oh, man, that's sick.
Auto.
Man, you got to get that framed. Last year on the wall. What is he doing in the package?
Still debating that.
Oh, man, that's sick. And this is coming from a Bengals fan. You got to respect a nice jersey like that.
Oh, I definitely do. That's why I haven't found the proper frame, proper spot for it. I'm going to be moving. Didn't want to crack or anything like that. So it's been tucked away safely in the closets and in the burrows of the storage facilities. So thank you to Clock Management on that. I will get that framed eventually once the move is finalized. All right.
So you're also taking Mark Ingram, so I'm just curious on your take here.
Yeah. Oh, my take. Yeah, man. Dynasty. Give me Mark Ingram too. Like I'll take him. I'll ride him out. I realize that you might be holding the bag with, and this is a statement I use all the time with Julio. Ingram's like Julio to me, man. You're gonna take him in dynasty. You're gonna know that you're gonna be left holding the bag with him, but that bag might be filled with cash and trophies. So like, I'll take it.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Oh, and I'll rebuild next year.
Ah.
All right. So I gave you the running backs. I'm giving you a pair of wide receivers. Kind of a little bit because you're a bit of a Bengals fan. I threw this one in at you. All right. So we got wide receiver 39, sophomore 111 in dynasty startups. He's my man. Probably not your man. Darius Slayton. Or wide receiver 40, rookie sensation. A lot of hype. Going 112 in the dynasty ADPs. Links up with your boy Joe Burrow. T. Higgins.
Oh, man. The new Chad Johnson, but he's repping 85. You got to love that, dude. You got to love that. Man, that's a tough one. I'm surprised they're that close because I know Deontay Johnson's in that range too, is he not?
Yeah, Deontay Johnson's around there.
Yeah,
I think Deontay Johnson's 38.
Jeez, I'm surprised Higgins is actually that high. All right, let's try to break this down here. Man, I'm pretty sure Slayton didn't play a full season. He only had like 14 games, but I've been comparing him a lot with Deontay Johnson. That's why I know he's there. And all the love with Deontay Johnson, he had a better season. I think he had like 8 touchdowns, which is huge considering 14 games. It was something solid like that. Had a solid amount of yards too. He outplayed him. He was receiver like 35 in half PPR in 14 games. Deontay Johnson was like receiver 43. He's proven. He showed it. We got Ingram. Love Ingram as a talent, but Buddy gets injured. Same with Sterling Shepard with his concussions. Golden Tate's getting old. I like the hotness of just Darius Slayton. He's young, and it's always hard to go against the proven talent. But that comes back to dynasty, and you got the upside of my boy T. Higgins. Now you got T. Higgins here, big body. My favorite stat that has nothing to do with fantasy really is that Andy Dalton and AJ Green were drafted in the same year. We got my man Joe Burrow. We got T. Higgins going same year as well. No correlation. That would just be pretty cool if it panned out. Buddy's a big body. AJ Green's getting older. We got one more year for sure. Then he might be gone. Hope we keep him. Love the guy. Tyler Boyd's a great 2, but he's on a 1. Joe Mixon's unreal. I love the talent. I like that we're up and coming. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. I think it really comes down to what you want. Redraft, give me the known commodity of Darius Slayton. Dynasty, give me the youth. They're both pretty young. Give me the youth. Give me the upside of Joe Burrow. I like Daniel Jones. Burrow has more upside, but he can be a 1. Don't see Slayton being a dominant 1. So that's how it breaks down in my head, man.
I like it, man. Like, here's the thing. Like I said he's my guy. It's Darius Slayton. I feel like he is my guy. I kind of picked him up pre-breakout there. Same with DJ Chark. I identified Chark for the breakout. That's why he's one of my guys too.
Subtle brag. I like that, man. Good flex.
But yeah, absolutely. I sold Chark though already, so I don't know him anywhere anymore because a new guy in town, Visca Chenault, as we discussed last time. But then like Higgins, man, like I'm high on Higgins. I'm really, really high on Higgins, and I do like how you brought up because it was not lost on me the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals did draft Andy Dalton and AJ Green in the same draft year, and they did do the same thing this year.
Oh yeah,
it was not lost on me. Interesting coming from a Bengals fan, hearing that Tyler Boyd is not a 1 and he is a 2 because he produced his 1 numbers for you, and he's quietly done that now 2 years in a row.
Yeah, man. I think he's super underrated. Super underrated. He's just not a 1. He's just not a 1. Sorry for interrupting. He's just not a 1. He's not big enough. He's a great slot guy. I don't know, man. Higgins is going to be the dominant receiver. That's how I see it. But he's a great underrated fantasy asset in Boyd.
Like I said, man, I'll take the word of the Bengals fan. I watch a lot of football, but not a lot of Bengals football, not as much as probably you do. So yeah, I definitely respect it. And hearing that actually makes me a little happy because there's been a couple times where I've been between Higgins and another guy that I have really, really high and just a little bit ahead of Higgins, and that was Michael Pittman. Where I have to take the chances with him, and honest to God, man, I've just been flipping coins on him. So like heads it's Pittman, tails it's Higgins, and so I got a lot of shares of Higgins. It's been relatively cheap because Tyler Boyd is still there. So I'm hoping you are right that he does become an alpha.
Yeah, man, those two are always paired together, and I think my biggest thing with them, like they're both great, like the talent of both. It's Joe Burrow to Philip Rivers and Jacob Eason. I mean, they might even draft another guy. I like the security of a young guy, and I mean, of course, I think Burrow's a stud. But you know what you're getting with Higgins. You know it. I have no idea what's going on with the Colts, except Jonathan Taylor's a beast. Outside of that, man, I don't know who's going to be their quarterback in a couple of years.
Does the injury with Higgins concern you at all? Hey, kid.
Okay, I found him.
Man, I'm a big proponent of people are injury prone until they're not. And I get he got his injury, but man, there's a lot of people coming out of college with injuries and then they're not injury prone or vice versa, like Dalvin Cook, right? Or I'm pretty sure Frank Gore Frank Gore is the GOAT, but like I know he had an injury prone college. He
Sure did.
Like 2017. Like buddy's just a beast. So
same with AP, right? Knock on AP was injuries.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a thing, and like if you want to use that as your turning point between Pittman and Higgins, I don't blame you. But I
use the coin.
Yeah, hey, that's hard hitting analysis right there, man. I like that.
Oh man, I can't anymore, man. Pittman's got the history with a Super Bowl winning father and work ethic in there, and he's a champion. He's a dog. He has a heart of a lion. And then I'm not saying Higgins doesn't. Higgins comes from a school that produces wide receivers, though. It's coming from Clemson. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Sammy Watkins. Some of those guys, very nice. Some of those guys, not so bueno.
Hey man, you never know. Yeah, I like it. And of course you side with the guy who has a great father. I mean, I just saw your kids show up. Of course that's where your heart's at.
Yeah, that's the oldest there running around. Give me a headache while I'm recording.
All right, man. Well, hey, we got on a bit of a tangent there, but I love it. Those are some good guys. My turn to hit you with some, I believe. Let's stick with the receivers. You know what? We're going to go a little bit older, but both are considered studs in the dynasty community. They're going 11 and 12, according to ADP. I have them opposite in my rankings, but number 11 right now is Amari Cooper. Number 12 is Kenny G, man. Kenny Golladay. Who you take?
Oh, man. So you said the first name, and if people know me, they know I'm an anti-Cooper guy unless it's best ball. But then you threw a guy at me that I'm like equally down on because not talent-wise. I do think he is talented. I do think the problem with Kenny G is his ADP. It's not his talent; it's his ADP, man. When it comes to Kenny G, I'd rather be hitting guys like Cortland Sutton or oh my God, who's the other guy that I'm thinking of there? AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't. All right, and I love Detroit. Detroit is is the only team that had 2 wide receivers last year in the top 5 of red zone attempts. I'm a big Marvin Jones Jr. fan though. Like, that's why I'd rather just wait and then grab Marvin Jones Jr. But out of those two, I'm gonna take Kenny G, man, because I'm not a huge fan of fantasy Amari Cooper. I'm a big fan of real life football Amari Cooper. I think the man is top 3 when it comes to route running, and I think he knows the nuances of the game. I think he is a legend when it comes to real life football. I think he's going to play a long time, man. I think he does things well that adapt other players to do better things. I think he, you know what I mean? I think he commands attention for your CeeDee Lambs, for your Michael Gallups to do a little more. He raises the ceiling for the entire crew. So that's not a knock on Amari at all. But from a fantasy standpoint, like, I can't go with the boomer bust guy that gives me 52% of his fantasy production in 3 games. Can't do it.
Yeah, man, I like it. You gave a shout out to my boy ex-Bengal Marvin Jones. Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, neither are big volume guys. I believe Golladay only had one game over 7 receptions, but he was still getting like double-digit targets. Yeah, he had Blau, or whatever his name. He's not that good.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's he only plays half the games, man. But he might have been injured. Who knows? The one thing though is you said running back, or sorry, you said red zone usage for the receiver in Detroit was like through the roof. But now they got DeAndre Swift. Do you see that changing at all? Do you see them running it anymore in there?
No, I don't, man. It's a sneaky thing. Like, so I get a lot of heat with this Marvin Jones love that I have. But he was interesting fact here for Marvin Jones. He was tied for most red zone TDs in the league with Michael Thomas. He had 8. The only difference though was he played 3 less games, had 8 less targets, and 6 less receptions than Michael Thomas. That was the difference for him. He's a red zone monster. When people want to, Kenny Golladay had it too, but more so when Marvin went down, they kind of leaned a little more on Kenny. They're both monsters when it comes to the red zone. Why would you go away from that? Is my thing, especially if you're Matt Patricia on that hottest of hot seats. I think in the NFL for being a rocket scientist, he has driven that team into mediocrity. I mean, they weren't really a superstar team to begin with. They literally broke Matt Stafford's back, giving him absolutely nothing to help him, right? Like he carried that team until it broke him. But.
Yeah, no, man, that's a good stat. And that's interesting about Michael Thomas because I think he only had 9 touchdowns on the season. So if 8 were in the red zone, then that's kind of nuts.
Yeah, 8. He had 8 red zone touchdowns.
Yeah, man, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, like I said, Marvin Jones tied him in the red zone with 8 and did it in 3 less games.
And I know Kenny was one of the only 3 receivers to have double-digit touchdowns. Like, man, personally, I think Swift takes away a bit because Bo Scarborough is not a good running back, and that's who was toting the rock at the end of last year, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, like, I think you have, like, you said, why would you go away from that? I think now that you have the talent, I think you got to go a little bit away. But I do think they're pass every offense. Love it.
If it goes away, I think if anybody gets any type of market share in the red zone, it's Hawk Smash, man. It's TJ Hawkinson. He'd be the third option there, right? But
not a Quintez Cephas fan, eh?
I'm a big Quintez Cephas fan, but I'm a big Quintez Cephas fan when my man Marvin Jones leaves.
Everything's Marvin Jones related, eh? Like it just always is.
Like when it comes to the Detroit Lions offense, Marvin Jones, baby.
Yeah, it runs through it. It's like Kyle Juszczyk of the Niners. It just the offense runs through them, man. That's all it is.
That's great. Hey, I love him. I love Marvin, man. Hey, Marvin, if you want to give me a follow on the Twitter, I'm down there, right there at Gordon Jack QBs. I'm a big fan.
I like that, man. Well, hey, this is going to be a long one. I like it because we still got running backs to hit you with. All right,
yeah,
so the last ones I got you with, man, we got some really good pass catchers here, and we got guys who hadn't really been a workhorse role. We got the running back 14 and the running back 16 in Dynasty ADP. Running back 14 right now, we got the new hotness, Austin Ekeler, who's been lighting up drafts right now. And number 16 is the only man that might be more hyped than him going into this season, Arizona Cardinal Kenyan Drake. Who you taking?
I'm going to keep this short. I want to keep this sweet because we kind of ran out a little bit.
Sorry,
it's all me. It's my boy Austin Ekeler. Been shooting up my draft boards ever since I seen him hit somebody back on Twitter with a clapback stat saying that he lines up all over the field. 30% of his snaps were taken outside of the running back, whether it be in the slot usage or not. He actually hit this dude like I think it was Peter Howard that pointed it out. He's like, I think this guy might want to work for PFF. And Austin Ekeler pretty much said, like, if you want an old school running back that's just going to pound the ball and get you those running back carries and that's it, not your man. You want an explosive weapon that's going to be used all over the field, that's the guy. So I'm going Austin Ekeler here. If it's Tyrod, I think it's still going to be I still think it's going to be heavily involved with the running game. If it's Justin Herbert, I think he's going to be leaning with a couple checkdowns. I know that's not his game, but when he is pressured, and he will be pressured in that division, he will be dumping it as fast as he can to save his life. That's going to be his best friend, Austin. So for me, give me Austin Ekeler, man. Give me Austin Ekeler all day. I'm not sold on Kenyan Drake.
I like it, man. Short and sweet. I got 2 questions, though, to hit you with right now. One is, does that change with redraft and dynasty?
It changes to redraft dynasty.
Man, the Cardinals' offense, it's looking good.
I don't think Drake's there long, though.
Not even for redraft?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying for dynasty. Like I don't even think Drake's gonna be there long. For redraft, no, doesn't really change too much for me.
Interesting.
Doesn't really change. I might get flamed on Twitter after this. Might lose some followers after saying this, but the 2020 Arizona Cardinals remind me a lot of the 2019 Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, man. We got to just cut that segment and just keep throwing it in everywhere, eh?
Like a lot, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just I'm not, maybe I'm going to get torn apart here, but we can do this real quick. So you have 2019, you had a sophomore quarterback coming in that at tail end of his rookie season looked phenomenal, Baker Mayfield. Then you had them trade for a stud wide receiver in OBJ. Then you had them take a running back and Kareem Hunt to pair up with Nick Chubb. Everything was supposed to be explosive. Now you have Kyler Murray, not taking anything away from him. He's very good. Showed promise in the last half of his rookie season, going into a sophomore season. They trade for a stud wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. They have a running back at the tail end of last season, showed a little bit of promise, but could not at any step of his way through the NFL or college beat out anybody. He couldn't beat out Damian Williams. Just remember that, Miami. They had a chance. Couldn't beat out Damian. That was Damian's job for a long time, and it was a committee back. Now maybe that was on who's that terrible coach that
Adam Gase. That was what I was gonna say, man. He's pretty bad. Yeah. That was when Ajayi even broke out on that team too.
I know. I know who it really was. Who's that terrible quarterback? Who's that terrible coach that's linked to being some sort of quarterback guru?
Oh, dude, Adam Gase, just ruins fantasy, man. Ruins fantasy.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't ruin Darnold. But yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, man. Like they just to me, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong, and I'm willing to again come on here and say that I was wrong. But I do think that the Arizona Cardinals of 2020. People might be disappointed, man. People might be disappointed.
Man, you're disappointing me a little bit.
Man, Kyler Murray's being drafted as the quarterback 3. Like, that's his fucking ceiling. Sorry. I have Russell Wilson ahead of him.
I got Deshaun Watson ahead of him. So, I mean, he's my 3.
I got Russell Wilson as my 2.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm going to have to disagree with you but I know that's not cool because I like the boldness, and I'm with everyone else. But to me, I mean, end of the day, both good backs. Just give me the Cardinals offense. Even if they underwhelm, the Chargers are just something I don't want. Give me Herbert and Dynasty, but I don't. Hunter Henry's overrated. Keenan Allen's good, but he might be gone next year. Mike Williams has shown deep plays. Like, give me the shot on Drake. For a redraft for sure. Dynasty, that's up in the air, man. That's all who you prefer, so.
Yeah, that's fine. To be honest, I'm usually not hitting either one of those guys. I'm usually probably, if it's a dynasty draft, people know I'm smashing a quarterback. I'm usually hitting a quarterback in that situation. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, man, had a blast talking with you as always. hopefully we can do it again. We'll see. Probably not letting me back on. It's probably going to be another pair of fellas dropping some double doubles, man.
Oh
as
man, they're
always.
gonna demote us a bit, eh?
I don't know, man. Can't do probably more than 3 before somebody else comes in here.
Fair enough. All right, well, hey, that was a pleasure. Appreciate talking to you, man.
Man, I loved it. Awesome day, man. Have a good night.
You too, man.
Perfect.
You